na wasu onyini ni nyina no one ne papa enko ana na ete ne maame de onim ni so asokra na mena no one ne papa te no e de ne siye
with my father. My father had another child, which is a boy, so that is a stepbrother. I was living with my father and my stepbrother in the same room. My father kept bringing different women to the house every night. And whatever they do, whenever they are making out, thinking my brother and I are asleep, we've been watching them.
What is making out?
Having sex.
Okay.
We've been watching them. So whenever nobody is around, my stepbrother and I also practice what we see them do. But we don't have sex.
So wotie awura ne nsema woka ya edin ode editor no hono no awura on say as usual eya na omomomo mudin to avoid public ridicule ne stigma nti eya omomomo mudin because obi wa ha we very good obetimi ehun voice kra ne ade nti omo voice ne kra no ye doctor ne kakra ansana yetimi abo na utia wose no one ne papa ana na tie ana ne papa nso so ewo nchen baako de ne ba nti ne step brother bia na oka no ho ne papa nyina ete wodan baako mu na ne papa taa de ma ba fie pa na anytime bia ne papa de oba beba no ebi ha na osusu se bi omada nti so mo ye ayi a omo fo mo ho a ne oba ne fo mo ho a na omo one ne bra no omo ehwe abiri bi omo fo mo ho nyina na omo ehwe sefimu enti wasasa de ne koso a ede na asi.
So we see them kiss, so we also kiss, blow job.
Enti wose ebedum pampansuo bi a ennam de no hu e wo ne papa ene ma na ode omo eba nti no oni ni nua no ehya ase se omo etu sa anamo ni bi ni nua be ma no oye ne step brother no enti de no ne papa ene ne girls no ne ombeda dem ho no eye nyina nso ye bi enti ohun se na omo fefe oma no enti omo so fefe oma no omo ye da blow job ni bi se bi obe ma de ne be ma to oba num amwa ya ma nti no so ye ni nua be ma ne bi ne step brother no ni nua be ma no ye ni bi nti de ne papa ene ma na beda ho ye ni na no mo ye bi but ade omo anya ne se bi omo de omo be ma ode ne be ma obe ma ni nua be ma de ne ebe wura na se ana so be have sex eno de enya de omo ye bi bisa ye ntie awura.
So we see them kiss, so we also kiss, blow job.
What is blow job?
Putting his manhood into my mouth.
Okay.
Fingering me.
Your brother?
My stepbrother.
Your stepbrother is your brother?
Yes. So that's what we've been doing. This went on for some time until my father brought in one lady that he wanted to settle down with. This woman maltreated my brother and I so badly. It got to a time he couldn't take it. So he got into a fight with my father. It was a heated argument.
Between who?
My brother and my father.
What was the fight about?
It was about the woman. My brother could not take the maltreatment anymore. So he wanted the lady out. So he got into a fight with my father. So out of the heated argument, my brother left the house and has not returned till date.
Wow.
We don't know his whereabouts.
Okay, enti ne step brother na no ne ewo fie ho no. Ewo ma na ne papa ne mpratwe ma ode omba ba ya no kofo oba bi ede ne bae. Na sa oba na ode ne bae na fe de oba ne betete omo. Oba ne de omo fa ateti mu ye pa. Yoma ya yade bia na ani enyan. Enti ni nua be ma ne de enam kwan na ne maame ne de omo efa so no ebe ne ya. Enti no opese maame ne frifie ho. Enti eno kofa ntawanta wa beto ono ne papa ntem. Ni nua be ma ne papa entem. Aje se sa entawantawa no akasakasa na ekoso kese no. Omo kasakasa wie ya abema ni efrifie no besi na me no kasa yi. Ne step brother no and sam na ti amafie biemu da no munim ni so asompo. Wo munim ba bi kura potea ni nua be ma no ewo nti be call no ene ne papa ene step mother no ene wo fie ho. na woman na ne stepmother no ehya ase so treat ni bad ne stepmother no ko so treat ni bad anti da kro de ne papa eja bibi wo fie ana wo ye se oba abefa enti oba back so oba abefa no ohun kwan a atete a maame ne ede ne famu wa ma command na na wo san etete ne de ne papa ne belt egwa no enti papa ne be hu ya ne bote eye ne ya enti emo no so ne oba no akasakasa koso o montam through that no opamo oba ne pake ne niema edi frifie ho yentie de ma chechiremu yin ene na ye ba bebo no.
When my brother left, I was still with this evil woman. She went on maltreating me until God saved me one day. She stabbed me the whole day, and my father came to the house to pick up something he had forgotten and chanced upon the woman meting out devilish and evil treatments to me.
What was she doing to you at that very time?
She was beating me with my father's belt. My father was angry. So they both got into a fight.
Your father and the woman?
Got into a
the supposed wife?
Yes. Got into a fight and eventually she left. She packed out. So that day, my father vowed and promised me that he was never going to bring in any woman into our lives. And he kept to his word. My father didn't bring in any other woman. Our lives went on peacefully. My father took good care of me.
Enti every sabre na papa no epaki fifi ho maame ne epaki fifi ho ekoye no. Papa ne shebo say onfo oba bia mafi o ma ne metete ne baba ne biemu da. Ne baba ma ne de oni so apaki fifi ho koda obi nim ni so aso. Every sabre no so ampa ne papa no edi ni bo hye so amfo oba bia ma biem. Na one ne papa sabi anije ba wo mo entem. Ne papa ebe hwe ni ye. Enti one ne papa anije pa ene ba ne ntem na ase a daughter yetete no bi etete no na nipa na free no soko no one ne papa sisi anije ana aba omonte na ese nani agiye pa eno achidi anasi.
I realized that at night my father comes to lie behind me and then he has been touching me in a certain way, touching my back, touching my breast, thinking I am asleep, but I
was edum pempenso bia oda ho no hu se ne papa ba bada na chi na ne papa so ni mu so ni so na chi so ni nufu mu so ni mu sa na ne papa dwen se bia wada but no nae I've
been watching him. He touches me for some time and then he goes back to his bed to sleep. This continued for some time and then we went on to another level. He gives me creams to apply on his manhood and play with it.
He gives you cream?
Yes.
To apply on his manhood?
Yeah, to play with it. That is a hand job. Yes.
It's called a hand job?
Yes, it's called a hand job. At that time I was so young, I didn't know what I was doing.
Enti wase ne papa ne koso yes ane ma na afedi ebedu pempenso bi no e next level. Next level na ekọ eni na ne say ne papa ma ne cream enku se onfa entwetwe ne bema ema no no de srasra ne bema ho etwetwe no se ne efe ne hand job ready yakopon o se ne efe ne hand job to otwetwe ma ne sa ana ode ye na afedi edu pempenso bi a na se ani anyan pa o se sade we koso anokure ni na eha adwene ade bia na ekoso a na eha adwene ye papa no etwetwetwe ne bema papa ne ma ono di nkunu fa ne nsam na otwetwe ne bema na otwetwe ne bema ma ne saa ade bia oye o ma ne ye o se ade bia ekoso echeye na eha adwene eye but ono satem no osa enti no onse da hu ade kode poten a wo ye one de oso oye abosa na ne papa ye ne ho stars bi ase de papa no da ne ho ase de papa ne ye ne ho niema bi ni ade saa but ono de bia no papa ne ma ne nku na no de eye ma no wei ene bedum pampanso bi obenyini ya o sha sese oko senior high school no ana fe ne papa ebe ye na adwen se afei die obedi because ohunu se ne ba no ni mu mia ti finally papa no ewe ne ba nansa na obawe ne krampo no o hye ase se okọ senior high school no papa ne hye ase se o kire no pornographic materials e woni phone so porn movies bi no yi bi kire no woni phone so no de bi kire no no de bi kire no santi kwata papa ne che ne to ho ewe no mfram na enu achi no afei na baba ya ade bia eye ntoaso eto antwa de bia na owe no de bia na papa ne we no nto no so be pe ne papa no obenya wodoma ne ye pa afei obe possessive obi ba ne papa ho kura no wadwa ohun so obi aba ne papa ho pe na se ne kokwa pai ne papa nso ohun se obi aba ne ho pe na no so ne kokwa pai afei no abedɔ ne papa ne ye papa no so aba abedɔ no enti wose omukọ asori mpo a na so ohun se ne papa ne asori ma ne bi gina ho di nkomo kra na ye ne ya ne papa nso eye elder ose elders ne bi kra pepepe no ama ne papa kwoti omo won ne ade a se o unim na ade wasem ba mba no so a ene de me de be ye o de nya ade a wo bepe we nyina ya ade bi e koso a no kura ni satem ni na no na jodi onim se wanya ade papa bi eye se no onim se de oye no enya ade papa.
I realized that at night my father comes to lie behind me and then he has been touching me in a certain.
He gives you cream.
Yes.
To apply on his manhood.
Yeah, to play with it. That is a hand job. Yes.
It's called a hand job.
Yes, it's called a hand job. At that time I was so young, I didn't know what I was doing. Because anytime I was doing that with him, he has been making funny noises. And it was weird to me. So we continue doing this. We do this all the time. And it went on for a very long time because I was young. Then I got admission into the senior high school. I was a day student. And this time around, I had become a full-grown woman. I knew what was good and I knew what was bad.
Good. Bema. Bibia bako de.
Amia bibia bako.
Wati abaya ne nkomo ni bi kakra. So wutie na mpempen so wadu no. Wasi emra afi obekọ senior high school no obehu de papa ene de enye papa. Sabre no. Na wo hwe de ne papa ne ye na. Na wo hunu se sabre no wo hu papa ene bone no. Na nkedi so otwe no ho ana ne papa de na hyema wie deda.
Oh. Se na wusa na wonim de wiase kwa ene wanyini. Ena wonyine nso anye bia betete nsem bi abonten se one papa eye bibisa eye chiwade. Ti wo hu sa na wanyini de se nkedu sa tan okusi na high school ni de hokura no. E mo adwen san ma papa no so biu. E den a na mfo we unum bedi nkomo. O be chiro de wiase ko. So ma adwen sa ba chiri na sa de na wo ye na ya wo de. Jaye nyai.
O se be ne de.
Benda on ti se won ti we bi na papa de no be ma.
Se be ne de pa.
Ayoda tisi bontin o pade no be ma o pade ade kwa me kwa no e tabu kese para no papa mo ye ne sa no senyame adum ne se ne watu adu senior high dia hallelujah e ba na sa no papa tabu kese para mo ye no ade ehu na mo ye di nyame mpe ana mo ye.
Okay, enti yentie de ekoso one ne papa entem.
We're having, our usual escapades. It continued, and then I got into the university. And then I met a man. I met the man of my dreams.
Wasi one ne papa koso ye ya kosi se okosua pomu university. Na sabra no university wo no kosia bema oda na koma so bema ope bema sabi ono as lady no o hwehwe wa na brabom. Enti sa bema no ode ne be kire ne papa no nim se ne papa empene so, but this time around ne papa eje bema ne tumu adan ya o so se bema e de ono no aburo kire no ote enti so o waro mpo na mekoso a no aye de be ye.
I met this guy that had everything that I wanted in a man, physically, character, everything. So I fell in love with him. What even made me love him more was the fact that he was the only man who had come into my life and had not asked me for sex.
But he was God-fearing?
Yes. To the extent that he even promised to wait till after marriage.
You accepted?
Yes.
Why?
Accepted because he's the only man who has not asked me for sex. And he has been nice to me, caring, providing for me, everything. So I accepted.
But I thought you said you had become addicted to sex.
Yes. But I was not bothered with the fact that he didn't want to have sex because my father was there.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay, enti osi sa university guy yo kwesiani. Na ni baje no ye pa se ono ne be ma no aba na kwan ma omusa ne sesabi opeso ono ne dampo da. Na ni baje no ye pa. Ana sofu busa ne se na se wo kure ya na wo so ya addicted. Wo yo bi asabi enna aba ba ya wo de ye pa na o se an. Nanso na ha me because if we say me papa wo ho a minim se metimi ne no have sex inti no na ha me kra. Asemo.
So we're in the relationship and then it got to a time and he proposed. When I was in my final year, he proposed. So I took him to my father. My father accepted the guy. Initially, I thought my father would not agree since he doesn't like other men coming to me. But he agreed to the marriage. And when the guy left, he told me it's because the guy doesn't live here with us. The guy doesn't live in the country. He lives outside. He just comes and goes. So my father told me that is why he accepted the guy. Because he doesn't live here with us, so we can have time to do our things. So after school, we got married. But then, the eve to my wedding, my father and I had sex.
The eve to your wedding?
Yes. My father and I had sex and...
The eve to your wedding?
Yes.
That means the engagement ceremony had already been done?
Yes.
And you were married, though? So it's
Yes.
just the wedding?
The white wedding.
The white wedding?
Yeah.
Your father has sex with you?
Yes. And he made me promise him that I was not going to abandon him or leave him because I've gotten married. That I was not going to stop sleeping with him because I've gotten married. I also promised him that I was not going to leave him, even though I'm married now. After all, my husband doesn't live here.
Bema. What ye be?
Ai, metibi.
Wa hu de papa ne ba ne ye. Papa no edi to mu se ne ba ne nware man ne because ne ba ne entina Ghana ha sei. Ne ba no bema no a wo be ware no entina Ghana ha broche no ote. Enti obekoso atimi ne na atwempena. Ampa abaya no kire se emra odu ne final year no bema no ebe se ne pe eka so obeware no ama mu go ahead eye wedding na ade be chimi eye wedding no eye white wedding no na se aye fie amamre de ni na we sa da ne papa ene ne die
Papa no na adwen bom. Papa na adwen bom. Papa no nye papa. Papa no anya papa. Papa mu papa fon. Because oba no yes ade obey wo na yes safety ne kwala bre ma mo anyini so ano wanya be ma wo na plan say be ma no free Ghana into one wale to kwabro nya we sanya opportunity na de o ya na wo ye
etimi ne nada
asemu papa bi fo bi pa de
se ne be no betimi ne nada nti ene ware no
nko
o ware na we den betimi ne nada
asemu.
After the wedding and honeymoon, husband spent some time here with me and then he went back. A few months later, I found out I was pregnant. I was happy, my husband was happy because finally our family is complete. At that time, I was staying with my father. I was in my father's house, a house that I supported him build after school because I got a good job. I got a good paying job. So I was staying with my father because my husband is not here. Even though he has built a house in Kumasi, I was able to convince him to stay with my father in Accra so that at least I have a relative around me. When I had my baby, a few weeks later, my father fell ill. And then I had to juggle work, taking care of my baby, at the same time taking care of my sick father. It was tedious, but I could handle it. It wasn't that serious since I didn't have much to do. So all this while my husband has been coming and going. He comes like every 6 months, sometimes 3 months.
Abane kyerɛ afei tama aware ne kɔso ewie ya bibia ya bɛma no ɛsan call back no ɔsan etu kwan no ewoma afiri okwan bɛma no di can spend some time with them ɛna akyire obehu sɛ wafa afuro emro obehu sɛ wafa afuro na ni giye pa bo bɛma na mane bɛma no so ani agye emra wafa afuro no sɛ sa atem no na ɔne ne papa na te sa atem ni na bɛma no kɔ etu kwan no ne papa na te fie sa fie no ɔne ne papa nyina na ka musika bom esi efi sɛ emra owie university no na adwuma ɔyɛ na sika eba ne sam no ɛyɛ kama pa ɛwɔ mu sɛ na ne kunu no ɛwɔ fie ɛwɔ kumase yɛsɛ ama ne kunu ne person ko ba betena abatɔ ka sɛ ne ɛbɛyɛ no ɛnyɛ ɔno nko a no at least obenya busuani bi aka ne ho nti no ɔpɛ sɛ ɔne ne papa tena ne kunu ne te aseɛ ana ɔne ne papa tena yɛ emra ɔbɛwo yɛ pɛpɛpɛ no ana ne papa hyɛ asɛ so ɔyare nti ama adwuma sam ne papa yare ne ba no ɛhaw ba no so pa nanso okurakura mu kakra saa ewo mu na ne papa ebewu ye ne papa wuye na edi se ne kunu eba down no mba ya yie ho totoe ne ade ne kunu ne bai ama mutu saa na mo ni na.
When my baby was 1.5 years old, I found out I was pregnant again.
With the second child?
Yeah, with my second child. But unfortunately,
emra ne papa ono onya owo ya obenya afe ene fa no ana ohun so osan anyim biem kwasena be ma no etai eba bosumi nsia ne bosumi miensa bia ebu abosom miensa no ababu abosom nsia no waba ne kunu no a waware no wa burukyire no sabre no ma no ana ne papa enso be firi mu.
Fortunately, I lost my dad at that time. I lost him few days after I found out I was pregnant with my second child. So my husband came down for the funeral preparations, and it was during that preparation that a woman showed up claiming she's my mother. But the least said about her, the better.
How did you know she was your mother?
She came to me.
Osita mo be ye ne papa ayie no tama mo boabo mo ho abaye ne papa ayie no sabra na maame bi ayi ne ti ebeda ne ho adi kire ne say me ba ne but no on so be kan asem on so be kan asem kra ana sofo buza ne say de na hu say o maame a ana so oba ne nchen be ka kire no ana afa nso no hu say no osene ye pa odi yenti.
Did you by any means notice any resemblance?
Yes, I did. I do look like my mom so much. Yeah. After the funeral and everything was settled, my husband went back. So we went back to our normal lives. My husband coming down to spend time with us whenever he can, whenever he gets the opportunity. Now, this is where the problem is.
Very good. It's about to go down. It's about to go deep down. According to Abaya and Wasi, Amra mo ye ni wie ye no. Afei ni kunu ene ne be settle kakra. O ma na ni kunu no akono abanti o mo be settle ya na eja be ma no aba be ka komko so ni papa no ne te na awu aja no. Na o se ha ana asem no asem be na wa hanti a e mo de e baaye. Ye ntie.
My husband is filing for the kids and I to join him.
Ni kunu no nkrata sem se obema ne ma no mienu no ene ne yere na ba beka no ho awa abrochire. Sankrata sem na no edi som koya DNA test. Wo mo koya DNA test a ne first child no enya ne dia. Ne second one no ena ye be ma ne dia. Ono so na bra bom nyina mema tu pe ena ono omada. Eye ne papa ene ne kunu.
There. But for the filing process, they have to conduct a DNA test. And when the results came out, my first child is not for my husband.
The first child is not for your husband?
Yes.
And the second one?
It's for my husband. We did the DNA test again, and it was the same results. Now my husband is broken, he's shattered. He's at the verge of committing suicide. He does not reply my messages. He does not answer my calls. Sometimes he will call on video call and you see him drinking himself to death. And at this point, I do not know what to do. I am shattered. I have regretted everything that I've done.
The 2 children, which of them does not belong to your husband?
My first child.
Your first child.
And now my husband says he's coming down to take the kids himself to the hospital to conduct the DNA test again. And now that's the problem. How do I tell? Because in my life, I've slept with just 2 men, my father and my husband, which means that my first child is for my father. So how do I tell my husband that my father is the one responsible for my child? If it were to be an outsider, it would have been easier.
Hey, if you see who or see, omukwaya test no DNA test no ono no kwaya ye ne kunu ne ma na ne kunu da so abrochire ho. O ma ye first one e wo hospital we amfoi. O ma kwaya second one amfoi sisi abema ne pese wo fi abrochire ho ba. Na ono ankasa besan conduct DNA test ne ebiem. Wo se na brabo mu nyina mema tu no ne omada. Ne kunu ene ne papa. Say ya bema bi kura outside the box kura nkan ha ne kese nke be easy ama no. Why de kache ne papa say eni kunu ne say me papa ana first child ne eye ne dia. Me ba chaw advice be na wo de obay fa comment ne to ne nkan ma wa wo betumi aka ana say wuntumi enka. Diabo wo be kan na wo nka.
Oh
afutu be na wo de madam
ne die futu no man ne say we no aye samampom setwini osiden no boma oni bewu wa moma usi bewu enti ne menya bom aba ko because wo kan obejao wa anka obejao enti kan ne nyaawo
na
honto because wa anka be mananka sa de ahomtie fre betiba be hu sai sai uma abufuru ko be san ye mo
wose be ma no timi sane video e kire na ofra be ma na onfa e che se on answer ne messages bia onye bibia na awehosam ne se be ma ne timi ye video kire na se onnom nse kunu ho che se be ma na ayo so che se unhu ni oye on timi hu why ade ne disa me ware na sabi obi ne da anyinsen no na me first child akwa ye enye me ba be ma na ne ya
nti beta wanka no mo ntwa take body ya bufo be mo wanka no ntuna adwin
wanka nchen wo abrochire ho
wanka no ntuna adwin na nakora ma na mi na say ndia ba ko pa me fa ne ko na se ne wura no nti aka no so no woni wura me fa ne nko
zia anti ni papa eba
ada papa na wunti mfa no ko chef fo mo bie
edi sia no du abo ofa ne ba no so ko chef fo
so bia fa ne ba ko
sia ne ba no be friend se ndi one ne papa wo no be friend se
no
ne papa
dada nana
How do I face the world when they get to hear that I had a child with my own biological father?
Se die mpa na wiase kura nipa be kan fa no ho so mote say one ne papa nkasa ewo ya.
I do not know what to do. That is why I think the best option for me is to end it all.
Where is your mother?
As for my mom, what I did to her at my father's funeral, I don't think she will ever look for me or come close to me. I don't know what to talk about her.
Okay. Did your brother come for the funeral?
No.
So you don't know whether your brother is alive or dead?
Yeah, we don't know.
Obusane say na rawo maame we. O se ne maame de odi ye ne pa wo ne papa na ye na se no. Onye sure se ne maame ne be hwe na chiri kwampo da. Ana ono mpo mpese obeka na asem da. Na obusane say na anya bia unu aba ma ne oba ye ni bia na o se da bi. Matene nka o se da bi.
We don't have any information about him.
And you say he joined a bad gang?
Yes, he did.
When you were younger, you didn't know any of the things that your father was doing to you. And so you were quiet. What about when you grew up? Why didn't you stop it?
I couldn't do anything about it or talk to anybody because my father kept blackmailing me emotionally.
How?
He kept saying that I'm the reason why he's lonely. He doesn't have any woman in his life because he doesn't want to bring in any woman for the person to maltreat me like the previous one did.
So for Busane say, Tamana usane de na wonim de ekoso. But when you de hu ada na akoso to aso. Was say na ne papa eta ka kire ne san. Wonim se me ni obi aka wonko an ho. Enti asesa enti na manfo oba bia ma biem no. On se me hye obo se me fo oba bia ma mpanso manfo oba bia ma. Me ni obi agi se wa. Enti sa ne mana ne papa keka no aya se na na areho ha no. Enti no course wa ne papa eto aso.
Aboa. Oya boa papa. We nantwe mu.
Olontodo.
We dwan so apomebe pa, ponche apomebe. We dwan. Do papa kana yo mobo. Na papa kana o papa ka say na yo mobo no ti hu nyanta say David bi ho se meba. Na papa kura de haram. Wa mo jara ne nam.
Papa no pa na sank wote ase anke di so mutimi che no. Castrate ne pa.
We papa we
Sano.
Kanena na sanke ne kwa ahemfio amanhia opemso anim. Ni etwa ne ma wo na chia wo ka no ho a so etwa ne 200 no ka no ho na etwa 50 ahyegu. Ni asan start. Etwa na chia na papa de nkyene ne makusam. Na dia fam. De na kire wia. Na wia him. No ka say bona man ye menem bado because the start akora no ma akora ntiri ne da ne nsema ka cha akora ma akora ntiri da akora no ntiri ansa ne hyebra wono wa ya o mama wonti we o twina so a na so twina man correct one
was akora no kra
no so wajim kakra wajim bi o ko university na ndo adwan sesa
at that point na wanyini na wonim de ne de anya no wantimi ansesa wa adwene
ho be nkwa na yode.
Are you a Christian?
Yes, I am.
Did you grow up being a Christian?
Yes.
Did you go to church?
Yes, my father was.
Yes, you said your father was
a church elder.
You didn't confide in any pastor.
So for the Busane said, now you're Christian. Or say, Annie. Now, quite sorry, or say, I'll send papa cry a church elder. I know since the other party in an way, ya GDBA war. Elders and be more unfound to many man. No, sir. Yes, so from cry when necessary. I say, yeah. So for no more master of no more crop here to me tonga. I
didn't confide in any pastor.
Pastors.
What about pastors?
Even the pastors were coming after me, you know. My father even got into a fight with one pastor because of that. He wanted him to stay away from me, but he didn't want to listen. So I didn't have anybody to talk to. If the person you want to talk to himself wants a piece of you, how can you tell them?
Why did you choose to marry your husband?
I married him because I love him. And he was the only man who was not interested in my body. He was genuine. He proved that he had true love for me.
And when you met your husband and you loved him, why didn't you stop with your dad?
Because I was addicted. I was already addicted and I was enjoying it. It has become normal to me.
In your life, how many men have you slept with?
2. My husband, my father.
Your husband and your dad?
Yeah.
Who does the first child look like?
The first child looks like me, so you wouldn't know.
And the DNA proves that your child does not belong to your husband?
Yes.
Samo ose ne bano first one de ose ne pa oso no ankasa tie bedin so betimi akere asem no asefem se wo pa na sebinka no papa e wo ba ana sa situation e ukomu bia ukunu ba be DNA test biem edi empa na abaye obeka akere no ana wonka obaba amane ana wontimi ma amane your last voice ni you wi adua bobekasa.
So imagine your husband wants to come and pick the second one alone and leave you and your first child. Is that what you're avoiding?
It's not about me avoiding him taking the other child. I'm hurt at the fact that I've hurt my husband because he's a good man. This thing has really broken him. And my fear is what he would do when he finds out the child is for my father and not even any random guy.
You are familiar with the Twi language. So
yes.
I want to address you in Twi. Me pese me ma oti ase se achia so wuye. If you right now, ujina ekon kesia no. And this one has fulfilled scripture. The wages of sin is death. What you are dead inside of you. So when the Bible says that the wages of sin is death, the Bible means it. Number one, onipa ne huye bufu in your story. Your irresponsible mother. O mami, ne huye mobo story. You left your daughter. I mean, sometimes I don't understand some women. O baba no weja o baba. Ama bema son titelo. Bema automatically oba. Number two, o papa, how irresponsible you could be. Say, onim so one ma will fear and kola na fe no musiso. No de ma ebe feel. Sometimes they didn't say kolani, but kolani. And this should be a lesson to every mother and every father. How you lay your bed is how you lie on it. Send your best so kettle, son our bedas, and our papa evil. What will let you know, so papa? They are not knowing a covenant. And they say, have you realized that the moment you gave birth, your father died? Because he had committed the most abominable thing on earth. So if John the Baptist is there, Jesus has to go. If Jesus is there, John the Baptist will have to go. And that is why your father went. Because he had abused God's power for his life. You are in a serious dilemma. How to tell your husband that the child, I don't know how to say it. And I don't want to accuse you. You were lured into this. For the first time, I am feeling very guilty talking to your situation. Because we knew how to address your issue. And it's sad. When you have a child for your dead father, I'm not here to condemn you, madam. You're but anyhow, we will solve this matter. I want you to know, sir, this is your matter. It is beyond me. We need to get counselors and psychologists to talk to you. You are going through hell.
Hey, Evans Stando was it the man have to be castrated for him having sex with his own daughter, but it's unfortunate he kicked the bucket. Moreover, the husband should leave the lady and she should tell the husband the truth. Vida Asante, please just tell your husband about it. I know it may be difficult, but just try. Please don't kill yourself. Emmanuel William Sam will say good afternoon to you all, watching you live from Amsterdam. Yeah, that's it. Bema, so for say, I know what demon. This will your psychologist for any idea or more cancer on a kakra because abani go to a lot. Abani so person no or general crown confident in some.
We psychology, baby. We psychology in Finaba. What Bananga and the Yamlansa Monchana as psychology. We see a chin at you. Ah. I didn't want to coin Vina, which you and change your Timo. That is in a room. I was some Pamono.
Oh, awesome.
And I never pass my Pamono. Would Jimmy naturally dry? What do SS? The oil dogs on saying, so some will not do SS. Okay, university. Tell us where
Papa, when your baby or
part of Pano or
your cancer was
or by Judas. And I was up for you. Debbie, me send me see you can come Papa from Gamasa would do. No pay him the job to Machine. No, I start to me, I'm out to Tunifuno. I said, no pay go the job to Machine, but my sure mouse and my crab says, don't me, and after a man said, I would my bro. Serious. We need psychology at Casabia.
Enti, who the own say, Obana Yandi?
Why, Yadi?
me de me blame papa no
papa be blame no
papa no na ye papa wo ase
na nti wo ya de we nyina nti wo namfo nom adwomu no kurumba no ti mu bi na se papa de me Efie na obi so nya ama go na se de bi ene ye opa ye fa no police station na fa no fa ha
onim se emotional obi betimi a blackmail wo ma wo ya wo ho hwe yeye obetimi aka asem ama na to so ma kekere wo se asa wo de ne ka bi nti edi so wo tua ne ka
oboa blackmail ya ho na aka no
unim se obi betimi aboa wa ma edu papa so bi asa wo de ne ka nti edi so wo ya bibi ededa na se
ene se nka ma de nkum nya me mada
enti ma bebre na de ma mo kosa anso hem no obi wo ha oba betimi ka se ni asimasi aboa me ache no ene se no wasi aye me no so be ma ne eka se ebia o me pesanka one me da ba ko bia ontimi mpus anye da bi da
bosha
ono akura timi ka se edi se me bibi da na se
bosha ye she mare nyina do bi mjae be ma ko fo ba nsem de be kagu na sumpa no enso do no bra san sempa no otimi reference money for jimi ko de do ya ma me wa na she ne kawa wole show ba umne bo sidete so ntoko ba kwa so onu hia kwa nto pin kura ma no na fi kawa heden se ni fi kawa heden sa na kawa ni pin na boarding enti do the idea ma no meka no nya bi ni we o wo ba na ajimi wo na mfo bebre e da ntika nchiro be say the wom
why I didn't this blame ma
eyo
because me
bremu no
papa ni na ajimi
me bremu no ma bremu no awale ne begu we awale we nya de be
but hasen na me hia manfo adwenkyere mpacha ma mo Facebook no wo ne be ma na anka be koso aware na to me pan de e fa ba bi nka me find a place in my heart na me de ache no
ene wodi asola akodi em se so for no preach no ya anyem no moso menkron yes no free so be si form
after all you obi no ne kodai wa anya de but nipa na wo blame no kra no
na me yire
odi sanse mu wawu
me yire kra makoko nani na mba papa kwa wo ka makra fre ni so apepa so ma na free am no be jai me yire makokeke e ko nani na me ba papa odi nso ohuru me yenim kwa me no be jai
adenti
wo se na wana jujwa
enti se o papa o yiri wu na so ne papa be boa na oba ne de
no kra penalty me de me sa awale ntamu jini padisa de nyini padisa o awale ntamu o yire yire egu na ya frofon so asemi ni da ko hema me force nebra wa pa de o he na atwam de o pa na ni hwe no atwintwam obi hu fresh na juma ba ni tirim Kaza me chiro no. O mam de pa hwe no atwintwam. De o kofa no mono o pa ni boss pe asem me betirim.
r-ginity any grusa GH Hassan any ora Emmanuel Sam afenso stando me pa cha mo fa mo comment ne mra me say wa woni be man oba ne be koso atena ho ana se obeja na chidie eduabo de osesempo kokra kwa ne yire ni na se ne papa de ne katra makra kofo na niso ana de safa so oboa na waja no stando Evan stando or see if I'm the man I will leave her onu am ko beja no stando kan hunu say enya be ma foforo bia o se ne papa
dabi u baba no ajenkwa Christ na netina ya
na na wo no
na me Yesu kura na ne
papa na why mistake and what this ansem hunu o sabi ne kwase ansem and wawu no wako. Why don't you forgive the lady?
Me wale ko na me nya wo na Yesu kwa ka jem se wona me yire da obenya wo na ba se Yesu dan so se wona ne da obi am meto aso ha wo be ba Yesu fa
r-ginity nso me mpia wo de say I will take care like that be father sa de bia ya de pa Grusa GH Hassan said the lady should have told someone about what she was going through. Yes. Nanke this obo bia mane say
anya me ka no akọ secondary school akọ university you want kan chiro bia eya wo de
r-ginity was say asemo this is serious.
Ene de
and Grusa GH Hassan said this issue is serious.
Ene de say asema nye particular onye hu
there be osi ebeye ne de okan osi ebeye ne de e wan ebeye possess afa no bi kura ba ne papa ho ana ya
ebeye o de ya fa pa em so mfa me ho we asemi wo ebeye o da o pawu to arfa mo na mfa me ho
satam no jimi ba wa hu ne say why mistake
why mistake me ma jimi pa me why mistake me so wa fa no ne ba won so me we few
ya bi asa oduabo wo de ne se do si fa ne de asa wa fa de we personal
o da bi me na personal asem na ehu nya ko betina so be chirechirem Ehu hia ndo betem chire mu no me da bia me ka me se me yere me girlfriend me nua akura woni na do sakotoro se cha me hu a fanatic ese pa na even kwa wo cha kwa me 1 second if you na wuti ni nsem hwe e ma adwen guto me kitikiti o e se bofra abiri o to fon apawo na pai woni oni mo na nga wuti mana yi wo wuti to fon we ma wo yere we beto to ma yere o no bi asane credit 1 cd wo fred ma ba saka kire se bra wukuoi na no adamfo na otia se no ato credit 1 cd ma me ya sanda na se ma me wo ato fon 1003 ma no onya mfa de se da ma o wo se sanda na se wo na de na se ma mpa wa ya de pa wo ato fon de onya hwe na se ne je wa ansire mu cha wo 1003 no media da bi da bi de oba de o yes a de me be ja pa ntentem pa america so hwe o fa ko she ma mu br0ke te be che wo no hu vip ba se ba ko chire nya se vip ba se u jan dodo gina ada tu me kasa me de oba de diwe se no be ma enya bia no mfa wa nana
o to me de onka nchire no na onya bibia ma
no mfa na wo de mu se na ba we ade nza we de ne qualify na mfa na be ma ko chire mu se so adam fi buza se o de nkola nyina ba na pani adam mfa na mba wo chire mu se mi buza
oh pani ne de there's so many ways about pani ne de
so many ways
ya pesa otena Ghana na
sa
oye na se nya obi a ye oba nkwa na otimi ne kwa bruchiri de obi a we obetimi ne akọ obetimi de na akọ se enya oba
agumi for dan for bi ese wo de u pa de oja pa de mo amenya bi de wo ye de mo amenya oja pa de ba kokora unya start ya no de nkan se de oba ndi asan na de se ba me we dey here see you we be kunu.
Very good. I like it, Enoch. Enoch Ajiman Kweko said the lady is innocent, please. Hey, Kafro. Say your innocence. I said the lady is indecent, please. I thought he said innocent too. Of course, I say indecent. I said, I was for Araho. Yaraho, some bet me at Tubia. Yeah, the stories be say, Bana, and so you have for Mofu to do your body or say. Oban de nkatinton tan woni ni hwiye biem wonso so me momo de e be me ya but in a way nkam de be chere no ma fan back after all on far be me on apart from the papa no sabi you yesi anibo ekotirim
za
anibo ekotirim
na broni so ne ma sa gupum e mu so dan so wontimi nka e woni tirim
edi
ha
enya obi foforo ne di ye
emu so dai
ne papa bomusuo kese pa
se mu so dai
we will never encourage anyone so onye bi da
me nye wonya afo papa otimi ya ne papa dan de obeta for any time bia opebia
get involved in this art. It's an abomination in this obia ye bi da but I will plead say Berman on fanche to me I will plead say Berman on fanche.
Wo adwen no.
Also
me.
Wo that's what they can make it clear.
What the chakra no wajimi. Because obi onu atu o pada wo de. O pampo wo nsuro. Enipa hunu. By
at least the lady has taken cue. What taking lesson from this? What's your BBA free mu? Why so devastated? Why dejected?
Hey.
I say,
hey.
Can't you see it? Why feel so remorseful?
Uni maun. Na go bitimi wale.
We are still so person who no person who draw or konuma draw wu akuni mana kan. What else again?
Anything no ba timi ware. Wani ni kuna kunta kwa sababu sanse de dia. Uve wure ma se ni kuna am password ma onum ye. Ne former boyfriend bi o te ba bi na wan no. No akọ no ye dwuma no no. Adwuma wo ntimi ye ne paso no. Former boyfriend na ye. Ade a wo be ma ni so. Wono de no so.
Eduabo wa setena ba ye.
Enti oba de enye oba ni sa.
Enye se wo ji
oba. De no oba na ye no.
Oba na nu ho. De no se eti wo free se in future no betimi asa ye biem.
The other pay no e bia wontimi yesa ma no to ba ya konya me watimi opa the same time no wato agu
okay you have a point
enti me de akomete me no ntena na ma bebe dem kwa wale nyai ubu sansa dia se ha me kofa no me bo bebere sa obi no wa ya wedding paper so ne former boyfriend na wa tian wa na wa yusu nsa egusu wisu ne bebere ya omo yire wonu ntu kwai me ko mo se ne one fofra asan omojai no go kan kan kwasi asem man kasa be mo ade ko tena burochire na me ntimi ntra enso oba wa no so ntenga na oba wa unim edu oba do committee na committee ja no oba de se odwa hu nchini hu ofafa bobon tum obakwasa aba nwura oseme ba
abusafo abada mu nyina amase onso wadwen kire ene sei ohun se boys ni ebi a kire omadwen pa but kamia se emema papa na anya ade eti wo de mu yamfa ne se so fa be ma foforo bi nso no ne ne ye ya anka mo baje anka mo obaje okofa be ma foforo bi ana one ne ye na enye ne papa anka no baje atu
ni nyina bye
na wo so na wo ye ya wo so be ma na wo koye ya anka oba no so
wo ba no be ko wo ba
emema mo ye da so ma ne nkonya mo
wo bua oba ba ka so na ni wukura
mo ye da you know opa oyini ba kebi we nka me be pon but we there Evan Stando Grusa GH Hassan oyini ba kebi Enoch Ajiman afenso Kennedy ma wo se Kennedy nso aba ana wura yima no Sam mon ka no kre eye be ma ye mema ne yekoye saade we ya mo de mum yenyi so ne papa koye sa na ntonchen ye ne yekowo wo nchen de ba ya anka be pa oba ne che so ne ye ntena
sa
anka oba ne ka so kwa anka be pa ne che so ne ye ntena ka ma no omuhu ya mobo ne ye tena da omugitum ne ye tena ye die ye nye da meboa mon ka no
oba tiri mo de che be ma oba so don se den na san go sin adan for pe na wote ewa agu oba ka to presa umumi won na sire me no te o mpe o sa ko pe madamfo o be ja o oba ka to madamfo na pefa na ya oba ha wurade yankopɔ o maame se tene e dene na e o maame oba e ne fele kura se wo no maame awo o san no betena na me se wo pe no ono aka sa damfo na damfo nyini ni o na damfo wo se ne pe na se na damfo nya bold aka nyen se wo kunu abepa mi o wonu be jai oba twa tena wo sei wadamfo nie wunie wo abusa wo mi no anim se madam me kunu wo ko madam fi
Owura Williams Emmanuel William Sam or say ayehu the lady must leave or she has to buy 10 goats sheep for the husband. The husband must not leave her. Oh, that's it. The husband must not leave her. That comment alone. The husband must not leave her.
If you are at
least on panic.
If you are above and to 25 fee.
Evans,
what was the budget? Then Cham Crab Pamcho Major. Someone means, sir.
Okotosi bone then cham ebe power chawa.
Someone who's intimate you. But if for the Chima 10, we 3, 4, 9, 10. The Bible Pamcho Grass, you know,
guys, I am asking you, sir, someone more yes, sir. Anka, will you plead to the lady, say, on a montana? That is the question I want to. What's a more dodgy, asemuno? A man who accept him back there. Yeah, comment,
your baby on now. Oh, baby, I on now.
Enoch, Ajiman Kweku was say, but for me, I will accept the lady. Yes. I feel I walk aside.
Oh, baby, I know what you comment.
Evan Stando, I said the woman is the woman. Okay, want to say is the woman is very wicked than the man. And I also can say women are very wicked than men. Okay. And for that one there, no crepa. Anna Kennedy Sika ya branti. I say God bless you for your good works. Kennedy me pacho me here we no me here that comment ne pay here me. Enoch Ajima say the man should take the second child to Europe and leave the mother and the first child in Ghana. Boys, it rewarding. Boys, it rewarding.
Obe baso.
Obe buy, but oba no buy no they no say. I be asante. Mama hear the message no. Only o ka say onya no honko. Be be nya no honko.
Ono oba yan safo no. Me say awuku. Wo ga apede pa o. Na oduna botra e ko pena damfo a. Na wote ya. Obe fra transe. One friend down for number. Oh, just say, as Messi. We so was in a pet. Now, to when you know how I will. Like I said, no, prefer. And book a
Jomoro man, our YouTuber say, I simply love this Diabo man. He always says the truth. Oh, Diabo. Yes, he do. Yes, what kind of crap?
Oh, none of crap I got you on. And to what I said, we wouldn't do anything I ever obey. Ibuza.
Well, no, who?
One.
I feel so remorseful.
What's it?
I feel remorseful.
If you see it here, the public team who you are as I so.
Baby, no.
Yes, you could. Yes, you know, because I go to go and yes. Baby, I bought an who say, ah, where do you say? What can it treat my to auntie? I just say, now, yes, it's for me.
Oh, so I can't do about say a jack, a bayanka, my crew in Parliament.
And so I am going to Yaga. Hey, how go? What ba? What ba you found you?
Hey, dear boy.
What, Monsieur Abad door said, Dian, till another catron. When I wear the motif, or do pow, when you always you, when you more, when him, but on the man which is a who can ask Messi, I, nobody to be a war, see. What ya same way up when we saw, if you come in our son, and talk out over corner. Won't ya say that? Both of Baku Tank, we be a hand, we be a hand, we be a hand. One dinner you got their tomb. Oh, say, we Pabonini Pano be a war, so I see. I was for Nana who couldn't chambo and me dimini. Oh, make means to cry. Simple man, me am simple man, you are working. Ah, simple man, no kind of David. Oh, b Mary Atasso. Oh, back as well, baby, or Nujai. The body already dear many dear. Oh, you know this as a button. Me. Nabi, you know me, I said to you, Boko, me. Boko, Mr. Mano does go in the crowd, Massati or Banansan Yamo, Name Bobo. Me, Vimo, Moya, I'm a Bob and Yamaka, movie as a mamma and Pajovi, Mr. Juango Jalana. So, what a Uba Biaman and Abu Debbie, Copepra Gaman, say man dozen. Yamako Jado crying, so 1 year, and Nessie came, and the coffee has to be maybe I'm Cofana and Nessie. If you don't say them, Miss Musono, no longer some money. Ono achire mam since we dey man me awe.
Yes be ma bi na akoto se obi ne yere da ana o take picture. Ana onu de wan pam be oba no. Ana ono akọ plenty pictures bebre no de bo mo dan mu ho nyina ne ho nyina ana bo. Oba na ntia ntra no ko.
Say di no na edi asem no. Ya nko. Ba wan se wo ni boss wa na ma so.
Aba bi tribodi yo. Hey! Every Yakupon.
Maybe my wife is simple. Me no contaqua.
Aquano Badam will be an enemy of Bosnia Machine. O brother and enemy of Bosnia Machine. No, Jai.